Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do another reading for an NCT 1 to 7 member, Johnny. So yes, today is his turn, so let's see how it goes. I'm going to talk a bit about his energy. I was looking at his birth chart, and he is an Aquarius with a moon in Gemini, so he does have like a lot of air elements in his birth chart. But at the same time, what I was able to find that I was very surprised and happy is that the place where I found this information had Johnny's like possible houses. You know that this is why you can be a moon in Gemini and you can have the same placements as him or as other people, and actually the energy doesn't behave the same way. It depends a lot on where in which house it lands in or it is residing in. But in order to do that, you need to have a birth time. So I think that in this case, probably this website was able to recollect that information. And I was paying attention that actually his moon in Gemini is in the 10th house, that the 10th house is the house that is ruled by Capricorn. So he could have like also a very like strong influence of Capricorn energy. And I also was looking at his Venus is in Capricorn, and I think that Uranus and Neptune as well. So he does give me Capricorn vibes. This is why I was paying extra attention to why, because I was looking at when it comes to his probably his personality base, the sun and the moon, that I always usually I take these two energies, so I can talk a bit about their energy in a very general way, because I cannot do a reading here, an analysis here. But this is important because he does give me Capricorn influence vibes. He does have like a sort of a structure in the way there's something about his appearance, and there's something about his body language or the way he stands that it's very Capricorn to me. And the fact that he has like a lot of air energy was interesting for me to see that he is much more than these air elements or these Aquarius and Gemini moon kind of people. So it's interesting. Let's take that Capricorn energy as well. So let's see a bit about the archetypes that he got. He got the archetype of the beggar, the mystic, and the victim. So this is really interesting because actually I was before I shuffled, like I don't know why I got confused and I thought his name was Henry, and I was shuffling for a Henry, and like but I was looking at his picture but calling him Henry, and then I was like, oh no, but it's like I had like several pictures and I was like, oh, that's not the same person. So I was looking, I was like, no, it's Johnny, it's not Henry. But anyways, you know that I shuffled all over again, and the archetypes came out the same. So I was like channeling very good with his image only. It doesn't matter his name. So it's interesting. You know, for example, the cards that came out again, it's mystical and victim. So, or mystic. So, and also if we add the beggar, there's something about him that it does give me that he does have some kind of inferiority complex. Like he does think of himself as like him not being able to actually follow his own desires, and this is something really interesting because I do not know much about him. I don't know much about neither of the guys' um, background or their lifestyle or how they came into the industry. Their personal stories. I do not know much about this, but what I do sense from his energy, especially from these archetypes, is that there's something about past wounds or past deceptions. It seems like life hasn't been easy for him, even from the day he was born. So there's something about him actually feeling like oppressed, or that he always has to follow someone else's directions or guidelines or demands. So I think that it also has to do with the mystic card, because I think that the fact that he got the mystic card definitely tells me that he is very intuitive and that he could have the capacity to absorb other people's energy and at the same time to be very empathic. But there's something about this ability that puts him in some kind of like not so beneficial energies for him. Um, I think that sometimes he feels like he has to try extra hard in life to make it, or to actually to be successful in, or to get even a chance or an opportunity to show himself or to show his abilities. It's like it seems like life hasn't been easy on him, and even though we see this image of him being really reliable, or probably being this very like probably he does have like this aura around him of being really comfortable with being himself, or probably that he has some kind of confidence. There's a part of his history, or there's a part of his background that had actually led him feeling like a victim for a long time. And I think that what he means with this archetype of the victim is probably the not having the opportunity to make a choice for himself. Probably he had to sacrifice his own desires to fulfill other things, or to achieve other things, probably for his family or for people that really needed him. So it's like he does have the ability to put himself in other people's shoes and to be of help, to be helpful and to be there for others. But at the same time, he feels that when it comes to himself, probably there's not much people that he can rely on or that he can trust. So he does carry this, like the first archetype was also very like impactful in the sense that it's the beggar. So it means that he always felt like he had to beg, or that he had to ask and be insistent with people so they could acknowledge him, or so that they can take him into consideration. So he does carry that low self-esteem with him. It's like it seems like everything is harder for him, like nothing has been easy. um, and I think that at the same time, this kind of experiences is also teaching him to be more empathic to others. Probably he has some kind of understanding and flexibility when it comes to perceiving other people's struggles, because it's like he had been there, so he's much more understanding, and he has a certain level of not only of spirituality but also of he's much more aware. He has a high level of awareness about what's important in life. But this is what he's showing me, that in the process of him building his own self or his own personality, he had gone through really rough times, and that it wasn't easy for him. That the final product that you see today, or the final image that you see of him today, is not who he used to be. That he came from a very probably from a background where he felt a bit exploded, or where he felt a bit like not taken care of, so it's amazing actually. And it's interesting because I shuffled again and the same cards came out. So this was a message that wanted to be delivered. So if you are a fan of him and you know something, or you heard something from his maybe an interview or something, or he talks about his life, maybe if you would like to give me some feedback, I would appreciate to know if this is right, or if maybe I'm not right about this. But it seems a very personal story of his. So let's go with the tarot. He got the Five of Swords, the Five of Wands, the King of Wands, the Magician, the Eight of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, the Star, and the Hangman. So, yes, starting with the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands, definitely is telling me that I know he belongs to a unit in NCT 127, but I do not know if he belongs to others as well. But I see that there are some differences in the group. But I think that it's not only about the group. This is why I ask if he belongs to other or interacts with other groups as well, which I can see that probably they do, or he does, because I see like a lot of exchange of energy, and at the same time I see them like sometimes having differences, because it seems like they are really putting their efforts, and they are putting everything of themselves to build some kind of stability for the group. And I see someone of power like really putting a lot of pressure on them. I see someone holding the power. Maybe it could be a CEO or higher ups. It's a male that is looking straight at them, like asking them or telling them right away, or very straightforward, being like, you better do not mess up, something like this. So these kinds of pressure actually it's what sometimes it makes them feel a bit nervous and a bit like not comfortable. They do know that they have a good teamwork, so they do, instead of fighting, they do use their frustration or probably their strong emotions to actually put it in a good use, and they are very professional, and they put it to work. They put their anger, their frustration, they put it into productivity. So they are really professional people. But at the same time, what the cards are showing me is that if there are differences in the group, or if they have moments where they feel like they cannot trust each other, is because of this person in power. There's someone that is like it's like asserting their power on them, being like almost like stepping on them, like being like, okay, I'm the one in power here, so you better do your job right. I am counting on you, like putting a lot of extra, like, like reassuring that he is the one in power. uh, and it's like he's putting too much pressure on the group, and the group feels like they have no other choice but to do right. So even though they are working and they are making it and they are being successful, what Johnny is showing me is that this comes with a great cost, and the cost is that sometimes they do not know who to listen, or maybe they do not have people that actually listens to them or to their needs, their individual needs. Probably they have to rely on each other, but I think that there's a sense of dishonesty in the group, and this has to do with pressure and with I think that the dishonesty comes from a place of, okay, I cannot talk about my struggles because this is not the right time to do it, because everyone is putting their effort, so I cannot allow myself to be vulnerable right now, or to be the weak link, or to be considered the weak link and being like, okay, I have a problem. I think that they are like holding themselves back from not talking about depressing things, or negative things. They are trying to maintain. It's like, if you see these five of wands, it seems like they are arguing with the wands, that they are like hitting each other with the wands. But the five of wands also talks about the effort, about you putting your energies together. So it seems like, despite of all the obstacles, they are like, it seems like with the ones, they are assembling something, they are making something, and they are holding something. It seems like they are holding everyone's careers in their hands and in their shoulders, so it seems that they definitely are aware of that they all have to be in the same page, otherwise that everything that they had built is going to fall apart, and they do not want that. But starting with the five of swords, definitely it means that there's like some mental distress here. There's like a lot of stress, there's like, it's like they are getting the job done, of course they are, but they are doing it because they feel pressured. It seems like this person is like sucking their energies out of them, and the joy of the process. So, because he's like holding the power, he's like, okay, I'm making this happen for you, so you better do not mess up. So he's showing me this person. So probably he does have like, this doesn't mean that this is how all the members feel, but in the case of Johnny, he's showing me that this person is very manipulative, and that this person is very selfish, and that this person is not using his power in the best interest for the group. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Prince of Pentacles. So a lot of Pentacles. Definitely, he is still working, and he's going to be working on a lot of details, and studying a lot, and working on a lot of like learning, and also perfectioning something. So probably he will have a project that will come out soon, but it will be a slow process, so you will not see it right away. But it could be like, something very, I don't know if he writes some lyrics, or if he is involved in some kind of like, production team or something like that, because I see him like working with, because the Hierophant, most of the time it represents the company, but I think that in this case it represents another company, not the company that he belongs to. Probably this has to do with a company that wants to have a deal with him, or to support him, or a brand, a very prestigious brand, or something like that. But this company, in order to be represented with, or working with his image, they are asking him to actually work on some details about himself. So is he an actor or something like that? Because I think that this doesn't have to do with music. I think it has to do with, you learning your lines, you learning some speech or something like that, and but it's going to give him money, so it's a good opportunity for him, and it's going to be individual, because I see him like putting the effort to educate himself more about the role that he has to play. So I don't know, maybe it's not acting, maybe it could be emceeing or something like that. But it's I see him like putting all the working on the details, and probably if he does have like to do some kind of physical activity, he will be working out or something like that. But it's something that is going to take a while to actually see the final product. But I see this company or this enterprise being really involved in the process and actually providing for him the tools that he needs in order to get comfortable with the task. So I see that definitely this company or this enterprise it's much more generous than this guy in power that I see above. And then we have the page of Pentacles, the Star and the Hangman. So definitely I see what I see in him as the last cards is that he will be working a lot. Honestly, it's like it seems like what he's showing me is that he's moving away from the drama. He prefers to keep himself entertained and busy. I think that he's showing me that, and somehow he wants to avoid seeing this person here, the very influential guy from the beginning that I mentioned, because it seems like he's slowly moving away from this person, or he's like trying to get away from his management. So it's like if he has like some kind of deal with some other company or with some other producers or other CEOs or other business people, he will be like really happy to go and meet these people, just because they are different and they are not this person, So I think that he will try to take these individual opportunities to actually remove himself from the influence of this person in the company that actually he's making everything being very toxic between the members. So I think that he's like, okay, if I have to work, but this is why I think that he does have a lot of Capricorn influence, because I see him like being very objective and at the same time being very realistic about and not emotional at all, not taking things too personal, moving away also from this archetype of the victim and being like, okay, I need to keep myself busy, otherwise I will have like I will scream at someone or I will say something that is going to hurt some people. So I better stay focused in a subject, or I better study, or I better get more goals to achieve, so I can have my mind and body occupied and busy. So this is what he wants to do. And I think that he will be really lucky actually. But like he was mentioning, his energy was mentioning to me at the beginning about how things had never been easy for him. And I think that this is why he sometimes gets so invested in the opportunities that he gets, because somehow he feels like these opportunities are coming from heaven, like from some divine source that is providing him this opportunity. But at the end of the day, he still feels a bit uncomfortable, especially because I think that he is, or at least he's going to come to a moment of awareness where actually he's going to start seeing a lot of things from the company or from people around him that he is going to be very eye-opening for him. I think that he's starting to see a lot of things going on that he was like avoiding, or he was like trying to look the other way. But I think that by the end of this year and the beginning of the next, he will come to a realization about what he wants to do with his career, because there's something about he is an Aquarius and he does long for freedom. He wants freedom. He wants to be able to not to always feeling like he owes someone something, he wants to be more independent. He wants to be the creator of his own luck. So I see him like slowly working on himself and working on the details and getting informed, reading a lot, doing a lot of research, trying to do a lot of networking. This is very Moon in Gemini, doing a lot of networking to see if he can get more opportunities for himself, because he does feel a certain nervousness, chaotic energy. There's a lot of uncertainty in the air. There's a lot of things in the company that are not being expressed directly with words, but it's like, since he has this mystic archetype, he is sensitive enough to see that there's something that is not working really well. So it's like everyone is very sensitive at the moment, and so this is why he prefers to just go and concentrate in what he can work on, and not so much on things that are out of his control or are out of his reach, or are actually things that probably doesn't even concern him. So he's trying to stay very positive, and also he has a very kind soul. He is very wise, so I think that he is slowly getting in touch with this mystic of his, and he's starting to choose his own battles, to not get uh, carried away by other people's drama. He's slowly trying to differentiate himself as a person. I'm not talking as an artist, because he does belong to a group, and thanks to the group, he is the person that he is today, and this is why he has the opportunities that he has. But I'm talking about his personality. He's starting to differentiate himself from the people around him, and being like more individualistic, being more himself, centering more on his own needs and on his own, on being the protagonist of his life. I think that this is what he's looking for. So yes, guys, this all I have for NCT 127 member Johnny. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.